Are there ways to kind of help alleviate that cost, payment plans? Helping alleviate the cost. I think a lot of people we run into, they can't afford, or they think they can't afford probate, so they don't probate, which then creates a whole slew of issues down the road. Are there ways to kind of help alleviate that cost, payment plans, or, some of my attorneys locally here in Georgia, I paid their kind of retainer, and then they get paid on the back end when the property sells.
Yes, that's sometimes some, of course that's up to the attorney, but I have done that, especially when there's no cash in the estate.
Right.
But we know there will be when we sell the property. I will, just agree to wait until there is some cash before I get paid.
Yeah.
And then also, there are always usually resources in your community, pro bono programs. If you really feel like you cannot afford to, and you don't feel like you can do it yourself,
yes.
Because sometimes if it's simple, a lay person can do it. But then there are pro bono programs or low bono programs that would assist somebody with that. I do that work sometimes. I just have them qualified through the pro bono program, and then I'll agree to take that case. But
is that a state program or like a local?
We're lucky because we have a separate program in Charleston.
Okay.
But we also have a state program, and we have also just a Charleston attorney pro bono program.
Okay. It's like a sort of an attorney group kind of thing, and you guys.
Right. Well, yeah, it's a nonprofit that and that attorneys volunteer under. And we also have a legal access program, so that they will do things like on a sliding scale. So often, your legal community will have programs like that, and you can find out about that through usually the State Bar Association.
That's super neat. Yeah, just hearing about, like, I was doing an episode with an attorney from New York, and New York has a whole thing set up, a whole fund, and they have all this money set aside, and through the state, obviously you're paying that in your taxes, but that's kind of neat, for people who can't, because I've dealt with sometimes multiple generations of families who didn't probate because they couldn't afford it, and then now 3 generations later they want to sell great grandma's house, and we're like, guys, we gotta probate 3 different estates now, and that's going to be like $10,000-$15,000,
Yeah. And that happens. And, but a lot of times it's just, they don't know they need to do it.
Sure.
Or don't have the money to do it. Most often I think it's because they don't know they need to do it.
I had a will, I'm the executor, I can sell it.
Yeah. Or this is my, our family property, so it's always going to be our family property, and they don't really understand that we've got to do deeds and, keep the chain of title proper. Yeah.
Especially at Charleston, because it's such a kind of an old city, right? It's been around for a long time. You deal with some very old estates there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Family.
Yeah. And we have a whole program here for that, to assist people. It's a Center for Heirs Property, and to assist people in straightening out their, that's another nonprofit program just for families who want to try to keep their land in the family, but want to get the title straightened out. This program will help them do that.
Okay. That's really cool. Okay, cool.